I suppose a bit of a little drive and a bit of an update. Heaps of room on my phone. I cleared out the what do you call it? I did a complete reset on my phone because so many apps and craps that I never use. I thought, oh, screw it. Get a nice clean phone and tidy it all up. But yeah, this is Cambridge, and this is like a ring road, I guess, that goes round it. There's only two ways in or out of this town, which is great for the booze busts, because, you know, on a Friday, Saturday night, when the mud, or the Masonic, or the mud as it's known colloquially, it's just on the right up here. It can get a bit rough. But the lad's alright. The beauty of this town is that everybody knows everybody. You know, there's the mud just on the right there, that hotel. And I think I haven't had one runner. There might have been 4 or 5. Everything's more laid back. There might have been 4 or 5 people, maybe half a dozen, that have not been able, or the cards declined, or they didn't have cash. And what I found is, if I just give them a cell phone number, I'll tell them to send me a text, and I'm going to do a U-ey here. Go right from one side of town to the other. So this is the one end of town. There's a high level bridge just ahead there. But I'll take you back along here. It's everybody knows each other, and like the people that we get are generally regulars. I have very few people that have not used us before. I think pretty much everybody that's been in this cab in the last 2 or 3 months, I'll have them again, especially the Friday night crowd. And I think because you get to know everybody, and everybody knows you, and everybody knows everybody, it's you know, no one's going to stitch you up because your name will soon be around town. As far as taxiing is concerned, it's pretty quiet today. I mean, I do a Monday. Well, I'm on a forward moving roster, so like I did Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday of last week, starting at 6 a.m. and what happened after that? Yeah, and then I go on to the Sunday night and work Sunday night 4:30 till 10 o'clock at night when we shut. There is no taxi service after 10 p.m, believe it or not. So this is just about the other end of town, and you just sort of go out onto country. We've got one Z station. I've just had my Macca's and I've got my coffee. And we got a BP, and we got a Caltex, and we got a Challenge. That's pretty much it. And this is the Friday rush hour. Well, I say Friday, it's Tuesday. Wednesday. No, it's Wednesday today. This is Wednesday night rush hour. There's no traffic jams, just a little bit of a hold up. Now in Auckland, I'm used to sitting in traffic that takes 3 hours to do a 10-minute trip. But sometimes I push my luck. And there's your BP on the right. You got a little church on the left up here, if anyone's of an ecclesiastical bend. But yeah, that's Cambridge. We've been through it. Now everything. This is the other way in and out. From the sides, you just got paddocks, and you got the main road. This road takes you to Hamilton. No, it doesn't. It takes you up to the expressway. But there's really only 2 ways in. So you got to have a booze bust at that end of town and a booze bust at the other end of town, and that's it. And you got Clare Street to the left. But I'm just going to take you down Princess Street. I've actually got a pickup at 22. It's I've got a bus coming in. Now I know this traffic looks pretty consistent, but this is the rush hour. But everything's moving. There's no traffic jams as such. Yeah, now what was I saying? Your runners. We might get, I might have had half a dozen. But this is a residential street. There's loads of them. You can Google it. This is Prince's. We have loads of them. We have probably had half a dozen runners. And as I say, I tell them, send me a text. And they send me a text. And then when I get home or when they're sober in the morning, I flick them a text and say, here's my bank account number. Just make a payment online. Appreciate it, thank you very much. And it comes online, it gets paid into my account. Brilliant, eh? Everyone's sort of pretty trustworthy. And if they haven't, well then, the owner of the outfit, he's owned the place for about 8 years, but he was born and raised in this town, so everybody knows him and he knows everybody. And he, sometimes people will drop in or they'll give the money to another driver and the money's just put on an envelope on the board somewhere. Bookings, we dispatch our own work. Telephone comes through the RT straight to us, straight to the driver. On a Friday night, Saturday night, when there's about 4 of us out, we'll be going, Saturday night non-stop. And like you do 500-600 in a night, and nobody really wants to do the long runs because the time you've driven out of town, and then you might, up to Hamilton for instance, might be a $90 fare, but you drive back here, and in that hour you've been out of town and driven back, you could have earned that $100 easily. A couple of $20 trips, boom, there's 40. And the second half hour, another couple of $20 trips, boom, there's 80. So as long as we're busy in town, we don't really care if we leave town or not. So yeah, that's it really. And this is, if you look to your right, we've already been in that direction coming out of town. We've just basically been around a block and done a bit of a loop. I could drive you to my office, I suppose. But yeah, small town stuff, country bumpkin. Everybody knows everybody. No one gets stitched up. As far as waiting time is concerned, it's quiet now. Okay, now Sunday night you're minding the phones. You might earn $50. Monday night you could do a couple of hundred or 100, 150. Tuesday night probably about the same. Wednesday night, the way it looks tonight, is I might be lucky to push 100, unless somebody says they want to go somewhere. But then I have to flick a text out to the other 4 drivers, including the owner, and say, I've got to leave town. So you got your McDonald's and you got your Mobil. This is one of the supermarkets. We got a countdown, and you got your Briscoes. Probably wouldn't have heard any of these. Your Briscoes is an appliance store. You go in there and buy everything from a jug to cookers and saucepans and sheets and bedding and beds and just. Couple of restaurants in town. Here, the stables. Hello, India. Yes, you've got an Indian restaurant here. There's only about one, I think. There's a kebab shop up in Leamington, which is just over the low level bridge. Well, we're back on the high street now where I had you before. I better stop there because he's just stopped at the pedestrian crossing. The drivers are atrocious. A lot of them don't know what to do. There's no traffic lights in this town. There you go. How's that? No traffic lights. Although having said that, there is a new set of traffic lights being erected right on the outskirts of town. What else? Yeah, phones come through. I'm on my own at the moment. I'll be on my own till 11 o'clock, then I'll shut the doors. Sunday night, Monday night, it's 10 o'clock closing. Tuesday night, 10 o'clock. Wednesday night, we close at 11 o'clock. Thursday night, 11 o'clock. Friday night were 24 hours. Saturday were 24 hours. Now, at the start of the video, we came down here. Oh, there's a bit of traffic here. Look at this. Ooh, yeah. Anyway, this is the low-level bridge. And it just takes us over the River Waikato. It's Waikato River. It kind of does an L shape at this part of the country. If you have a look at Cambridge and you see a river, it kind of does a sharp turn right and carries on down towards the sea. Towards Taupo and then through Wellington and I think goes to Wellington. But anyway, yeah, so that's it. What else can I tell you? Bugger all, really. As far as, yeah, waiting time. If there's any waiting time, then that usually happens only if there's no calls to do, or if I don't get anyone saying, you know, can you come and pick us up, then I won't charge them waiting time. But, you know, if there are calls coming through and they ask that I wait for them, I'll wait for them. On the other hand, if another job comes, or a job comes in, and I know I'm only going to be 5 or 10 minutes, then when that one comes out of the supermarket, we do a lot of supermarket work during the day, they know that I'm only 10 minutes away, you know, and I'll nip back and pick them up. Or I'll say to them, look, the phones are dead, or we're very busy, whatever's the case. If we're very busy, give us a call when you need me, I'll come back and get you. If there's nothing happening and no waiting to, you know, nothing I'm not putting off because I'm waiting, then I won't charge them waiting time. It's just the way it works. Because if I'm not doing anything anyway, and I, you know. So that was the low-level bridge. And there you are. I don't know why I came over here. Oh shoot, I've got to go into town. Yeah, I've got to pick somebody up in 15-20 minutes. So I might as well do a Yui. This is a regular route up to a sports bar up the other side of that hill up there. There are people, they sort of, on Friday night, Saturday night, they'll go from one sports bar to the Masonic, where they might have a band playing. You get a lot of the young trade. Now, once, you know what it's like. You mix a little bit of testosterone with a little bit of alcohol, and you can get some snotty guys occasionally, but they're not dangerous and they're not bad, as everybody knows them. And sometimes you just have to be a bit assertive, and they might grumble about the price of a taxi. I'll say, well, you can always walk. I don't have to walk, I've got a car at home. So we'll drive your car then. Can't, I'll lose my licence. We'll stop complaining and pay your taxi fare. You know, you just, how much is your licence worth to you, sort of thing. And I think probably twice in the last 3 months I've only had one person say to me, you know, I'm paying, I don't have to pay, you know, I can do what I like in here if I want to drink beer in here, because I don't let them in here with a bottle of beer, especially if they're young. Sorry, you know, not allowed. If they spill it, it stinks in here of booze, and if they don't spill it, well, I think it's actually technically illegal, because I think there's something in the law that says it's a public place in here, and consequently you need a BYO license. Bring your own. And especially if there's a liquor ban on in town, if there's a big event or something, or you're around a known area, you're not allowed to have alcohol in a public place if there's a liquor ban. So yeah, that's it. What else can I tell you? Well, I've been waffling for about 15 minutes now, so I'll probably just go up here to an intercity bus stop. Now, you might wonder if we've got a bus terminal. Well, I'll tell you what we've got. We've got a bus stop. There's no terminal, it's just a bus stop, and the buses run from one city to another city. There might be a terminal in Wellington or a terminal in Auckland. And you know, that's where you'll get half a dozen buses. But this here on the left, there's your Subway, look, and there's a Domino's. But this here on your left, right where that person has put his bloody car, just in front of him is a bus stop. Let's just see if she's going to do there. I might go and stop in front of her actually. this is the bus stop. That's what we get. So I'll just put the wind up there. So there you are. It's a very small town, not a lot happening, so on that note I better go. Toodaloo for now.